Welcome to our video on the 10 worst prisons in Africa. Africa is a continent with a rich and diverse history, but unfortunately, many of its countries have struggled with issues of crime and punishment. In this video, we will be exploring some of the most notorious and inhumane prisons on the continent. These institutions are characterized by overcrowding, corruption, and abuse, and have gained a reputation as some of the worst places to be imprisoned. We hope that by highlighting these problems, we can shed light on the urgent need for reform and improved conditions in Africa's correctional facilities. Drakenstein Prison, also known as Victor Verster Prison, is a correctional facility located in Paarl, Western Cape, South Africa. It was the site of Nelson Mandela's last imprisonment before his release in 1990. After Mandela's release, the prison was renamed in his honor. Drakenstein Prison has gained notoriety for its high number of imprisoned gang members and for fostering an environment conducive to gang violence. It is considered to be one of the most dangerous correctional facilities in South Africa due to issues such as malnutrition, inadequate health care, and poor sanitation conditions. This prison is extremely overcrowded and has a high density of inmates. It was originally intended to hold 800 prisoners, but currently has a population of over 3,800. The overcrowding is particularly severe in certain areas of the prison, with 250 inmates being housed in a space meant for only 50 people. Overcrowding has led to poor living conditions, such as lack of access to clean water and sanitation facilities, which can lead to the spread of diseases, increased tensions and conflicts among inmates, which can result in a higher rate of violence. When there are too many inmates in a prison, it can be difficult for them to access educational and rehabilitative programs that could help them successfully reintegrate into society after their release. This prison holds some of the most dangerous men and women, those on death row and life imprisonment. The prison was built to host 400 inmates, but more than 1,700 inmates are held at the facility. It was originally built to accommodate 1 inmate per cell, but there are more than 10 prisoners in each cell. Prisoners live in overcrowded cells where there is no room to lie down at night. The prison is located in Lagos State, Nigeria. It was built for hardened criminals with high offenses. It is infamous for its degrading treatment of prisoners, appalling living conditions, and substandard medical care. There have been instances of guard brutality in this prison. Guard brutality in the form of physical abuse, sexual abuse, or psychological abuse of prisoners. The medium security wing of the prison is notorious for overcrowding. Its official capacity is 1,700 inmates, but it currently hosts more than 3,000 inmates. This prison has been rated as one of the worst in the world by the United Nations Human Rights Organization. It is intended to hold only 150 prisoners, but currently houses more than 850 inmates. Due to the lack of space, prisoners are forced to sleep in the hallway and near septic tanks. The poor health system in the prison leads to frequent outbreaks of disease. The largest prison in Zimbabwe and is located on the outskirts of Harare. The living conditions in the prison are extremely poor, with shortages of essential supplies such as food and blankets. Inmates often rely on their families to bring them these basic necessities. In addition, basic painkillers and antibiotics are difficult to obtain, leading to prisoners dying from treatable conditions such as tuberculosis. The prison is also known for its overcrowding and unsanitary conditions, with as many as 40 prisoners in each cell. It has a reputation for mistreatment and human rights abuses. This prison has gained a negative reputation for the extreme suffering and poor living conditions of its prisoners. It is known as a high-security facility that holds some of the most notorious criminals, but it has also gained infamy for instances of sexual assault, fatal abuse of inmates, and outbreaks of disease. The prison was designed to hold 1,400 prisoners, but currently holds more than triple that number, leading to extreme overcrowding. Malnutrition, cholera, and ulcers are common occurrences in the prison. This prison, located in Africa, is infamous for being one of the deadliest in the region. It is where individuals who have been convicted of genocide-related crimes in Rwanda are held. The prison is severely overcrowded, with many prisoners unable to find a place to sleep and having to stand all day. The maximum capacity of the prison is 600, but it currently holds more than 6,000 inmates. This overcrowding, as well as violent altercations between prisoners, leads to a high number of daily deaths in the prison. Reports indicate that on average, 7 to 8 prisoners die each day due to the inhumane conditions. The food in the prison is also reported to be extremely poor, and there have been instances of inmates resorting to cannibalism in order to survive. This prison is known for being extremely harsh, with reports of guard brutality, malnutrition, and overcrowding. It has a reputation for mistreating and being abusive towards inmates, often denying them medical treatment and providing insufficient food. It is considered to be a living hell for those who are imprisoned there. It is widely agreed that no one deserves to be subjected to these conditions. It is the worst prison in Africa. This prison is full of different gangs. These gangs engage in criminal activities within the facility, such as drug trafficking, extortion, and violence. These gangs pose a threat to the safety and security of both non-member prisoners and correctional staff. Nelson Mandela was moved to this prison after serving 18 years of imprisonment on Robben Island. It is a high-security facility that houses some of South Africa's most dangerous criminals. The prison is severely overcrowded, with a capacity for 3,900 inmates, but currently holding over 8,900. The overcrowding has resulted in cells that are over 300% their intended capacity, putting prisoners at risk of infection and even death due to the high risk of exposure to diseases. Thanks for watching our video on the worst prisons in Africa. It's important to remember that these harsh conditions exist, and that we have a responsibility to work towards improving the justice systems in these countries. Don't forget to like and subscribe.